now. Go to my screen. And just let me know what you can see.
I can see your presentation. It says
Yeah.
Kirby Christian MS Ed. MA.
All right. I don't know if that's correct, but I just went with it. Since I'm not technically licensed, I just put my master's CMHC.
And just as an FYI, what I would suggest is put anytime you're doing things like that, and I think I gave some people feedback on this in their resumes, is actually you should not be putting that yet, but you can put expected graduation and then the date.
Okay.
Or you could put MA CMHC candidate.
Okay.
But like even on your resume and your cover letters and things like that.
Yeah, I don't have that on there. But...
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Yeah. This is just between us. And I'll change it before that. So
fair enough.
Alrighty, so welcome to my exit symposium. What I want to talk about as far as my journey is my balance between work and life. It's really been the biggest fight that I've had to endure my entire life. And as you see my list on either side, work, I had to kind of wrestle between the program, the CMHC program, courses, doing some assistant work with different professors, and even field work. And then my life, home life, personal life, 4 children, husband, new business, new dog, childcare, preschools, IEP meetings, just a ton of things that I had to constantly kind of deal with while, trying to stay on top of work, schoolwork, field work. So that will be the basis of my symposium, just how I was able to balance it, if at all. All right, so again, I have, Dr. Soley and Dr. Eldridge, and I have some photos in there as some of the primary people as part of the symposium, and Dr. LA also in the background. But again, just the significance of the 2 people specifically. For Dr. Soley, I mean, as I said in my email, you've been such an emotional and personal support for me during this entire process. And, I just couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of everything that you've helped me through. And Dr. E, the same professionally, you've been that first experience, that help, my cheerleader, as I said. You were the first professor that helped me through like all of the face-to-face case studies, and you were our coach during residency 1, just someone that I can always contact, or just trying to understand how to be a counselor, basic counseling skills, advanced skills, just in general. So you two, definitely, I wanted to have a part of this presentation because you've been just so integral in my journey overall. So thank you. Who was I before CMHC? Here's my list. I was an advocate, an early childhood educator, an early intervention specialist. I called myself always wanting to dive deeper into the realm of children and adolescents, and just seeing how I can help, be of service. So that was always my avenue, being a director, infant and toddler specialist at a childcare facility, working for the state as a care coordinator for families with children that are suffering from kind of some sort of medical concerns. I've just always been in the field of working with families and children. And that's just who I was. And I was proud of it, but I just felt like I needed a bit more. I don't think I was burnt out from any of my experiences. I just knew I wanted more. It wasn't my final. It wasn't my end. So everything started fall 2014. Spring 2015 and summer 2015, I'll describe this first year in essence. It was a new year, a year of a new baby, new house, new academic pursuit, new kind of experiences. And you'll see photos kind of scroll across the screen of my family of my life. And as my husband sleeping with the new baby, it was just um, everything. And then I was accepted into the Chicago school, and everything was great. Holidays kind of rolled around, and I felt complete. I was on my journey to academic excellence, or kind of the next steps. My family was all intact. We were all great. And end of the holiday season, January 2015, tragedy struck, as I said. Um, One of the photos is the actual photo I sent Dr. Soli when my husband was in a car accident. We were in the emergency department, and I said to her, like, this is my current situation. I don't know anything as far as like schoolwork. I can't even think about it. So that was a big battle. My husband was out of work for like 3 to 4 months, completely kind of just helpless, couldn't walk, had difficulty talking, eating. It was just hard. And I still had to manage life, everything, the 4 children, the household. It was just really difficult. So, I had to push through. I was taking Lifespan with Dr. So. I think she taught it both. I took Lifespan during that time, and I ended up getting a C, or a low C, or close to D, or whatever the grade was, which of course wasn't acceptable to the school. So I had to repeat it. But in that process to repeat, I also had to petition the school to stay a part of the program. And it was hard being on academic probation, and not being able to pull up my grades to where they needed. So staying on academic probation, like, it was just the threat of school being taken from me just as I started was devastating. And so, I prevailed, I pushed through, but, if you see the photo now here, it's just, I had to multitask and manage everything. And I was overwhelmed. It was a really hard first year for me. Then going into fall 2015, spring 2016, and summer 2016, that year, or that kind of grouping, I was like, okay, this is a new year. Kids are in school, husband's back at work. I'm home with the baby, of course, who's growing. But honestly, like, during this grouping, I lacked a lot of confidence. I felt overwhelmed. If you look at the pictures here, all the diapers, like, I was, I had babies. Look at the laundry folded. Like, I had to take care of my house. I was just completely overwhelmed, doing homework while my little girl's like right next to me. What you see here is boxes of groceries. Like, you can get non-perishables. I couldn't even go to the grocery store. It was just, life was a lot that I had to manage. But I was still pushing through, kids going to doctor's appointments, kids being sick. This year was just, I didn't know where I was. I was second guessing myself on everything. I just didn't know how I would survive. And residency 1 came about. And honestly, as I said, this was the reboot that I needed. I really needed the reboot. I needed to reconnect with my peers. You see that I have pictures of some of the people I was able to reconnect with. I needed to see them. I needed to just be supported and be around them. And it did. And it really did reboot me. It got me ready back in the game. And I felt ready to succeed, or just move forward, move past everything. When I returned home from residency, my husband actually created an office space for me. We have a room in our house that we call like the TV room. And within that TV room space, if you see the picture, he got a table, he got me a computer, a printer, a cork board, my own little chair. Like, he knew I couldn't just, do what I was doing, be anywhere in the house and trying to get work done. I needed a focused place, just me, alone, get my work done so I can focus and get it done. And that's what it was. I'm still using that to this day. This is where I'm actually sitting right now, as I complete this symposium. But I really just, again, I needed that reboot because it was hard. I didn't really believe in myself. And I just worked hard. You'll see pictures popping up of me just working, whether there's a kid under my desk or I'm in my sweatpants. Like, I just was working. There's my dog again, just like laying next to me, but I'm on my computer. I'm just working. I was determined to finish, with that thin line of this program being taken from me, the experience being taken from me. I just worked hard. Having that reboot really, again, helped me want to really work hard. Here's a to-do list of tasks that I'm just like crossing off my list. I was determined. The last picture is what I look like, just sleeping with a computer on my lap, just always, every hour I could, every minute I could, just getting work done. Here I definitely learned some self-care. You'll see a picture of my little girl saying, "I make messes." And I just had to just roll with it. I had to still take care of my family and deal with their messes and everything that they came with, and still learn how to take care of myself. Something I actually learned from Haley, where she would take every Monday off. As we round out that week where, we had a written assignment due on Sundays. When we submitted it, Monday was off day. Monday was when we just keep calm and really enjoy your day off. And I still implement that. Now I kind of added in my own like bedtime where my alarm clock goes off 11:30. I need to be in the bed or making my way to bed. And it was important. So I learned I was driving myself crazy almost. I would stay up days where I didn't even go to sleep, just up straight through the night trying to complete papers and discussions and stay on top of things, and things were late. So I was just going to stay up to complete it. Like, my self-care was down the drain. And I just, again, I came to the realization that life is still going to move forward. So I need to figure out a way to function within it. And that's what I figured. Mondays are off. And even now, it works in my favor, because as far as internship, I don't work Mondays. So my Mondays are just mine. I can do anything I want to. And that's what I've been doing. So it's been helpful. Self-care. I had to kind of practice what I preached or practice what I wrote about, as far as coursework and everything. So, and then in come this final term or year, the fall 2016, spring 2017, and summer 2017, I felt like this was the year of me stepping into a leadership role, having the opportunity to really, really apply and think about the 4 agreements. I remember looking back at this and thinking, oh, we're really only like number 2 as far as don't take anything personal, and number 3 as far as don't make assumptions, only apply. But then when internship started, I was like, oh yeah, always do my best. Definitely, like, just do what I can. Like, don't worry about anything else. Speaking with integrity, being impeccable with my words, like, that really meant a lot to me, especially during internship, where I had to just say what I meant, be factual, be observant to what was going on, and really stand strong to my truth and what I believed. That one really reigned supreme to me during internship as I worked with other interns from different schools, and where they had different philosophies or paths and courses, and I was just like, you know what? This is what I was taught. This is what I believe, and I stand by it. And I felt like, no one ever challenged me in that, but I felt like there was a little bit of respect there with that. Getting certain accolades, such as like this little certificate from ACA saying I'm a member in good standing, that was important to me. I felt like, okay, I really am. I'm a member of the Counseling Association. I'm on my way. being able to speak to the board of trustees with Dr. LA and two other students in my cohort was also just showing me my leadership ability, which I really didn't believe in. So that was also very helpful to me. Residency 2 came around, and I really enjoyed Residency 2, first based on having the ability to have mentors or mentees. I didn't know that that's something that we were going to be doing prior to, of course. And I enjoyed that, connecting with, I think I had three Residency 1 students. And the one, of course, that stood out the most that Dr. E knows is Joel. And as interesting and complicated as he may be, he actually gave me a really good compliment that helped me professionally. He said, you're really good, but you talk a lot. and I didn't take offense to it when he said it, because I recognized that I was kind of like blabbing on when I was giving him his feedback. And I had to really reflect, like, why am I talking so much? Like, what's going on with me? And I felt nervous and a little insecure. So I was like, you know what? This is the year of you stepping into a leadership role. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried. Like, your professors are consistently telling you that, you got it. Stop worrying. It's okay. Like, just do your best. So stop talking so much. And I think that's when I really started to understand the whole kind of being patient and sitting in silence with working with clients, and really personally. That's one of my, I think, strong suits, is just really sitting in silence and allowing your mind to process, sit in the moment, be a part of the situation. So it was good. Residency 2, just reconnecting with my group. We were reaching to the next step, the final phase, and this group of people were instrumental to everything that we've gone through, just my entire existence with CMHC. And I was glad to reconnect with them and talk about the next step and our worries and our concerns, but support each other. During Residency 2, I got to experience two, well, not two, but just a service learning experience. And I know Dr. LA can't see the photos, or maybe she can, but there's a picture of her in here dancing. And so it was just fun. It was a really good experience. I really enjoyed being a part of that community and them inviting us in. But within the experience, I also got to, play a leadership role where I, a part of just Sarah's overall group, I led a group. We had like a role playing scene to do, and I led that group, and we processed the scene, and it was really good. It was the start of me, again, learning how to become a group leader, which I knew I would need to do come internship. So then, it's the meet the interns. And that was difficult, a difficult start. As you see, I wrote practicum or no practicum, because everyone else started, I think, June, and I didn't really start until August. So I had to push. And I know Dr. Soli and I really pushed hard to find me a placement, prior to June and in June and everything. And finally I found Westwood, which actually was really a good fit for me, despite some of the institutional struggles that they were having. Overall, my supervisor, one of the other managers, and some of the other case managers were actually very helpful with me. Even again, some of the interns, despite the different schools that we went to, we all just connected, we all shared, we all collaborated, and it was great. They were very helpful with me as far as like my case conceptualizations and case studies. They role played for me in each role play that I had to present. And, so it was a great camaraderie. And with that, my personal struggles was childcare. I literally went through 4 babysitters, 2 after school programs, and 2 drivers who could pick up and drop off my kids. It was devastating every time I had to switch a babysitter, because I had to scramble and figure out who's going to care for my kid. Do I just pick some random person who I have no idea who they are, what they could do? to just sit here with my baby and, receive my children from after school. Like it was really devastating for me. It really was. I remember crying like every time, like just bawling my eyes out. I mean, if you see the picture, these are my these are my loves, like we are a very tight knit, close family. And so it was hard. I remember, most recently really just like emailing, if not twice, I emailed like Dr. Sully, like, what the heck do I do about childcare? Like, I'm just so frustrated with people that are not reliable and don't understand the sacrifice that I'm making. Can they sacrifice with me? It was hard. At the end, my mom became MVP and just, she was able to rearrange her work schedule, and stay with my little girl and, receive my kids after school so I can finish this final month of field work. And it was just, it was uncomfortable, but it worked. It pushed through, and I'm almost done. So can't say anything else more about it. I just had to stay strong, remain a strong mama, and just keep pushing. It's funny because the Mother's Day passed, and even last year's Mother's Day, how the kids write all about my mom, and they like my mom. Her favorite color is this, and her favorite color is that. And what's the one thing your mom likes to do? And all three of my children who were in school wrote, "My mom likes to do homework," because they constantly see me doing homework, reading, studying, whatever it may be. And that's just, and I don't mind that. It actually, put a love for schoolwork in their heart, where there's a computer screen, directly across from me where they're doing their schoolwork. And, so it was a struggle, and I had to have limited family time and limited social engagement, but it benefited us, and it will continue to benefit us. Um, who am I now post CMHC, or, post this? I feel like I'm a leader. I feel like I'm very confident. I feel like I'm self-aware and very determined. And I liked looking at the pre CMHC Kirby and the post CMHC Kirby, where pre I listed job titles, I listed responsibilities, listed tasks, where now, where that's where I found my identity in those things. But now post, I'm confident in who I am, and I'm just putting on different hats to who I am. I'm not looking for my identity in a job title or a profession. Like, I feel like I am a counselor. I feel like, and as being a counselor and being the strong person, I encompass these four things and more. So that is it. Thank you all again for being a part of my symposium. Any questions or comments?
Well, Kirby, I just want to say what a lovely presentation that was, with the visuals and personal touches. I loved seeing the actual photos of here's what life was actually like.
Right.
I'm at my computer and I got a kiddo underneath.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
what an accurate portrayal of what this program is really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I liked seeing the pictures too, Kirby. And, I think that, I've got a couple of questions, but I guess as you look back on your journey, you talked a lot about like, what was the struggles? Like, what were your highlights?
Right.
Like, what through all of this, like, what was, what were those nuggets that you picked up along the line that it's just like, that was terrible, and I'm so glad that this came out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, really, just what you just said now. Nothing about it was terrible, but it was hard. But I loved it. The struggle made it very real for me. The struggle made me love it even more. That's why I've always said, like, when I was helping you with certain tasks, I was like, Dr. Soley, I don't care. I just want to be of service. Like, I really owe all of you in this program so much gratitude. So it's like, yes, the struggle was real, as we like to say, but every aspect of it made it better. Every aspect. Residency will always be the highlight of the program. We loved residency. I loved residency. I loved finally meeting all these people, finally seeing all of you instead of the little circle or square that we have online. Just the whole person, the whole person. So the highlights were just one, meeting everybody at residency, having that tangible support from everybody. Sorry. Come here. Good girl. Sorry. She sees someone out the window. So that's it for me. And if I answered that question for you, so
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did I answer that question for you?
Yes.
In a roundabout way.
In a roundabout way. You answered it very holistically, because what I got out of it, Kirby, was that there's not, I mean, the residencies and the people, like the people, and the experiences that you had at residency, but overall it was those people and the experiences all the way along that that kind of kept it going for you.
Right. Yeah.
Dr. LA, do you have any questions? Dr. LA, are you still
Yeah, I am.
talking
It
us?
just took me a second to talk. Yeah, I am still talking. So I'm supposed to be driving, but we're under a tornado watch, so I decided to stay put until that passed.
That's a good idea.
I know, right? Excitement. So, Kirby, thank you so much. I wasn't officially part of your symposium, but I wanted to be here and just kind of hear you. So I appreciate you letting me stalk and and be part of it. So, I guess my only question kind of builds on some of what you've already talked about, but you've been part of the originals, and so I'm curious, what do you want us to make sure we keep doing? And what's one thing you would want us to think about making different or better?
Continue to make the connections, whether it's through group projects or pairing up within case studies or whatever it may be. Keep the connections going, because, of course, it's online. It makes it very difficult for that natural kind of camaraderie. And so if you continue to provide us situations where that's what we have to do, it will build, it will make the cohort stronger. I mean, without those, I don't think we would have any of the kind of social media connections that we have. We have a group me, we have a Facebook, we have personal, text messages between each other. It's just all of that wouldn't really happen if those avenues weren't available. And changing anything, I don't know. I mean, just Canvas. But I don't know if you can really do anything about that. But just the continuity, just within coursework or classwork or assignments, or because I know a lot of things have changed or are changing. So just some consistency in it. I know one point in time where we started off with two discussions and a written assignment, and then things switched around and we were all super confused, or we'd hear from one person then double check with another person, and it just got really kind of confusing sometimes. But with that I could say, when we were confused or didn't know which way to go, we could reach out to any of you and someone would give us an answer. Or if they didn't have an answer, say, you know what, I'll get right back to you. Let me talk to my team. So, it was never like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. This is just awful. It really wasn't awful. It was confusing and frustrating, but we were confident in that you all will get back to us. You'll figure out the solution, and, it'll be fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah.
Kirby, I'm wondering, looking at your presentation, you give us a snapshot of here's Kirby at the beginning of the program, and here's Kirby now at the conclusion of the program. Where do you see Kirby in the future? Where do you hope to to go, what characteristics do you hope to embody as you go there?
Yeah, I want to just continue to kind of increase my confidence in my leadership skills. What was eye opening was the career course where we had to take the assessments, and the suggested jobs that was posed in one of the five assessments. Majority of them always said assistant, counseling assistant, or this assistant or that assistant, where I had to me, how I received it was I had the ability to work underneath the top dog or the leader or the executive. But that's not what I wanted. I know that's not what I want. I want to be that executive or that lead or that director. So it's like, I need to just continue to grow in my confidence in my leadership role and in my leadership responsibilities so that I can go somewhere bigger and better. And actually, a group of friends of and I, we went out to go get our nails done and stuff for Mother's Day. And a few of them are counselors and social workers. And so I was like, ladies, in 5 years, like we need to open up our own business, where one in particular, she's a supervisor, and she's a licensed mental health counselor here. And I was like, you're great at individual work. And I was like, and I love the crisis and stabilization and intervention field or realm. Another one, you're great as a social worker. Like we can put all of us together and create one like really phenomenal kind of business or program. So if ever that comes to fruition, that would be awesome. But I have a good group out here, good support team and resource. So in a few years, that's kind of where I want to see myself. Growing in my leadership ability, maybe having my own program of some sort. So that's where I want to go.
Well, I love hearing you say, you know whatever these assessment results gave me, thanks, but no thanks. Like, right. I know what I want. And it sounds like so many of your experiences throughout this program have uncovered that within you, that this isn't just an ability that you have, but also a passion. Right. And kind of uncovering a road that you might not have seen before.
Right. That's true. Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful.
It's great to hear that you've got that sort of that the counselor / women posse of strong, but it's like a tribe kind of, of really, of people who are like-minded, who understand your passion, and can support that and be on board with that for you. I mean, not only just in terms of, it's exciting in terms of, the possibilities. And I think that, when you get a lot of people with a lot of passion, there's just so much more juice for creation than when you're trying to operate in isolationism. So that's really exciting. And I just, you have to just keep in touch so that you let us know how and when all of that's going, because at some point in time within this organization that you I'm going to be looking to place interns with you at some point in the future. So it will not be long before you will be able to be qualified to supervise, and you can bet that you will have your proverbial door knocked upon for so
that would be awesome. It will make it way easier for you, Dr. Soli.
Well, that would be nice. It was challenging you're right. And I wanted to reflect a little bit on, one of the things that you touched on in your presentation, that is one of the characteristics about you, Kirby, that is just, it's such a herald for you, is you are so tenacious. And the amount of tenacity and just trust that you've had in this process, and in us. And even though it waxed and waned, and there were times I know, and we talked, we had so many conversations where it was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, even just a couple of weeks ago, it was like, I don't know. It was like, we'll figure it out. Like,
Right.
it'll get figured out. These are some options, and, but you have had that steadfast, just like keep, one foot in front of the other. And I can't tell you how excited I am to watch you walk across the graduating
I
platform.
know.
Oh my God.
Super
Boy, you
excited.
talk about tears. It is going to be most challenged. And I just don't think I'll even try.
Right.
Just like,
Just do
no.
it.
Just do it. Just do it. So my next question for you is, if you could go back and do anything over again within the scope of your program, obviously that you have control of, like things, obviously probably, rolling back, not having your husband get in an accident and things like that.
Right.
But like things that you could like actually do within the scope of either courses or even within the scope of your internship. What, if anything, would you change or do differently if you were back at the beginning again?
When you were talking about this question or posing this question, I immediately thought about, I often was too worried about putting my personal stressors on you all. And when I say that, I mean asking for help, asking, for some sort of like grace period or anything. I often waited, until I just couldn't figure it out anymore. And so that's what I would do. I mean, even though, yes, we did talk often, it really wasn't until that final, okay, I don't know what else to do. I already went through A through X. like,
Right.
I don't know what else to do. So I waited a long time. And that was my own personal kind of assumptions that I don't want to bother them. There's like 500 other students with 500 other problems. I can figure this out. But I had to remember, and I remembered each time that, you all are here for us. You constantly say, don't worry about it. It's fine. Talk to us, reach out to us. And that's what I would do. I would go back and I would reach out sooner rather than later. Again, would that help anything? Who knows? But, I would have to assume so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then to carry that forward as you move into the next phase of your career, how would you take and give yourself that same advice as you move forward as a professional entry-level counselor?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm doing it now with my current supervisor, where during our supervision meetings, I'm just putting it all on the table, whether it's a issue now or I foresee it possibly being something. It's just like, here's what my brain is going through. Let me just put it all on the table for you. Let's talk it out. Let's process it. Let's, if it's something that we have to do some extra steps with, we'll do it. If not, okay, this is it. But I'm learning to just put it all out on the table, and what comes from it is whatever comes from it.
Great. And I know that's a switch because
Yes.
I know for a while you were not doing that with your supervisor.
Right. I was calling you. Right. 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 It's, for me, it's all about almost like trusting, because even though it's a professional setting with the field work, to me it was still a bit about being vulnerable. And so that was hard for me. The vulnerability was very hard. Right. Right. So I had to almost like get over it. Like, she's here to, escort you through this process. Dr. Soley screened her. She has full confidence in her, and so I have to do that. So whether it's a personal thing or professional thing, I have to be okay with the vulnerability. And really, it reminds me of the Brene Brown TED Talk. And I still follow her, and I still am just in awe of Brene Brown. And vulnerability is not weakness. And for me, culturally, that was a big thing, and being, Black woman with children and the mom and the wife. Like, I had to just make sure everybody else was okay before I made sure myself was okay. And then if I wasn't, I just had to put it to the side because everybody else needed something. So it's like I had to do the whole self-care. It's like take a day off, figure it out, breathe, and then reach out for help ahead of time, not too far down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So really a resetting of that, of a long held belief system.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not
They
easy.
usually aren't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My dog is enjoying my M&Ms. That's what's keeping her quiet.
Oh.
Right. I came prepared.
Doggy bribes.
Right. Anything else?
Dr. E, Dr. LA, do you have?
Yeah, I can't think of another question for you. I just, it's been such a pleasure seeing you develop. And, of course, we wish that you hadn't had to go through, the tragedy and challenges, but I can also hear the resilience that you discovered having gone through those.
Yeah.
I hope that you'll always keep that, close in mind when you face another challenge in your path, personal or professional.
Right. Thank you.
No, I'm just excited, and I will probably be crying on stage, but I'll be there, and I can't wait to congratulate you on graduating, and I look forward to working with you in the future. I think it's going to be exciting to see what our alums are able to do, and we're expecting you to continue to be involved. Yes. Starting with our KCREP site visit in July, where we'll be inviting you guys to be part of and to call in and help us secure that KCREP accreditation so you guys can proudly put that on your CV.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And just, again, thank you all for the continued roles to allow me to kind of like be a leader and help out and be a part of the program in other avenues outside of just kind of being a student. I really did appreciate helping. Dr. E used to kind of email and say, can you check this over? And Dr. Soley kind of saying, check this over and help me out and do this. I really did appreciate those tasks. Outside of being of service to the program, I really felt like it added on to my confidence in my leadership skills and my ability to kind of excel within this program, within this field.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's also a testament, Kirby, of how we feel about you. We don't just ask everybody to do that.
No.
Exactly.
I was going to say, I definitely want to reflect that back to you, Kirby, that we asked because when we did, your response was one of receptivity. And you also put yourself out there saying, if you need me, I'm here. And then you followed through when we did ask. And so that's something that is a specific trait within you. And so while it seems to you that we instilled those leadership seeds in you, really all we did was water them. And you're the one who has, you've grown and you're going to continue to grow and to blossom. And, as your advisor through this journey, I feel like you and I we've had such a good, I feel like we've just had a really, really solid relationship throughout this whole journey. And I'm so grateful that I've gotten to be and to stay your advisor, but also just you were my GA for a while, which was amazing. And also just, your instructor for some of the pieces. But I just genuinely, I wish you absolutely nothing but all of the best. And I know, I just know very deep inside of me, Kirby, that there's so many great things ahead for you. And I'm so excited for you to just discover what those are going to be over the many courses of your, of the many reinventions of yourself. Because as you said, you are that lifelong learner and you're just going to keep reinventing yourself and what's next for you. So I am excited and just invite you to continue to keep us as part of your process. And thank you. Thank you for a great presentation and a great symposium.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. In closing, just so that, yes, yay! Right. So reflect for a second on, like, how is this for you?